Tsuchinshan puya seka viva ze shwe shwa shwe 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 shwa viva ze shwe shwa. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Slick Dissident Shared Artistic Expression. I want to invite everybody to the slickdissident.com website. As I often do, I failed to self-promote in my video, so I'm plugging this in the beginning. Come on over to the slickdissident.com, where I have quite a few t-shirts and my artistic expressions on offer for reciprocal value. As well, I've got lighters and the tarot deck that I designed, and I got another tarot deck on the way that I'm very excited for. The price mark on this next tarot deck might be a little ambitious, but so is the art that I intend to place on there. So I think you guys will really love that when it comes out. So just a friendly reminder from your local capoeira artist to come down and check out what's in the show notes. I got plenty more on offer for everybody. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoy the weaves. Love and respect. Tsuchinshan puya seka viva ze shwe shwa shwe 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 shwa viva ze shwe shwa. Tsuchinshan puya seka viva ze shwe shwa shwe 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 shwa viva ze shwe shwa. Give thanks and praise, dissidents. Pretty sure that's a samba song, but we'll play it with the capoeira rhythm as best we can. Give thanks and praise, dissidents. Welcome back, welcome back. This installation will be rounding out of my last video, where I gave a lot of information and it was a little bit scattered and a little bit broken up. So what I've done is I've put together some graphics for conveying the vision. So often my words need the graphs to point out the consistency. So I'm going to present a calendar of October on top of a graphic of Durga and the 9 Devis of the Navaratri progression, the sequence. I always love pointing out that, everything is astrological, and even the word sequence, up there in the heavens at night, there's a beautiful dance going on with shiny sequins in the firmament, if you will. And even, when the ladies wear the polka dotted dress, they call those in Latin, that's called lunades. Lunades, little moons. Tiny little moons on those polka dotted dress. So I'm going to bring this graphic of the calendar with the 9 Devis in the order of the dates that they will be observed. You'll notice I put a little meteor right there between the 8th and the 9th, between Katyayani and Kaalratri, as that will be the culmination of this meteor, this comet, coming across the sun at the same day that the Draconid meteor showers are popping off. And it's fascinating because the momentum of the comet and the way that its tail is going to flare as it goes past the sun really generates a dramatic effect, as it's once it has passed the sun, its tail is pointing directly at the Draconid meteor showers, where they'll be going off for 2 or 3 days. It's a very brief shower, but in a very significant location. Dracon is the Greek patriarch of the death sentence for trivial matters. So when we use terms like draconic laws, that is to say, excessive laws that do not meet the transgression, there's no longer the eye for an eye. When Jesus brought the eye for an eye, he was bringing a balance to justice in that there's not a class system for different financial affluence gets one set of laws and all the plebes get another set of laws. The phrase an eye for an eye is actually about everybody's on the same justice system. It's not two-tiered. And Gandhi comes along and he's like, an eye for an eye makes everybody blind. Well, Gandhi was trained in the city of London. He was trained in the city of London. And a lot of people would tell you that there is a two-tiered legal system and that those archons that are playing God, justice just doesn't ever seem to be in their worldview at all. At least not in the context of the word that we use today, Daikyosune. So yeah, the Daikyosune is totally not even weights and measures. So I want to also present. I'm speaking on law because we're moving into Libra. We're not there yet. Today is actually the lunar eclipse. It's a supermoon and it's a lunar eclipse. I'm going to bring another calendar for even a broader swath of time. This is the half of the star calendar that I use. It's up on my wall over there. And I've highlighted the meteor showers for everybody. So while we're moving through September, October, November, December, as we're going through these fall months, I have placed a highlight of where the meteor shower, while we are progressing on the zodiac in time as the sun is moving through the fall, I've highlighted where in the heavens the different meteor showers will be popping off, kind of like a game of whack-a-mole. Excuse me. So I'm going to bring that graphic as well. And I recommend people get screenshots. This is a nice, if a picture says 1,000 words, then multiple slick dissident pictures say 10,000 words. So that's what I want to offer up here. Also, I'm going to bring a graphic of pan-experientialism with functional duality. I do not have my original arrangement on the board to point out the path that got me here, completely intact and in full, the way that I discovered it in my process. So I've made a split screen of the Enneagram with all of the cards in their stations, 1 through 9, including their secondary derivative. So it's 1 through 9, and then also, let me think, 11, 11 is in the 2 spot, 12 is in the 3 spot, 13 is in the 4 spot, 15 is in the 6 spot. I think you get it. The way that I arranged the tarot cards in the earliest iterations of the project, when I was decoding Plato's Symposium into the Enneagram. So I've placed that image on one half of the screen, and the other half of the screen is, I believe it's Durga riding on the tiger with the 9 Devis in the exact same order as the Symposium characters, as their muse is speaking through the mouthpiece of those old curmudgeon sovereigns. Very fascinating. So I have an image of pan-experientialism with functional duality that I call the original Enneagram on the Symposium next to Durga and the 9 Devis. Also, I've made another graphic with some of the tarot cards in the nine positions, and then I made a graphic with the 9 muses surrounding the 9 Devis. in the order that they were presented from the symposium and then also embedded into the Navaratri. So memorizing the 9 Devis is becoming more and more simplified for me with repetition and seeing their correspondence to the muses as well. So I'm going to share those graphics today. So hopefully this streamlines the flow of the ceremonial potentia that is coming through on the month of October. Another fascinating component here is that at the end of Navaratri, on the 12th of October, we are ending in a weekend. I believe that's a Saturday. Sunday is the 13th. 14th is Native American Day. Also in direct contention with Columbus Day. This is really wild. This is really wild stuff. The Olympics canceled coming to America. No. The World's Fair canceled coming to America a couple times. Maybe it was the Olympics that canceled, that rejected America in the bid for the Olympic hosting. And I think a lot of this, these are the guys that gave us the World Fair. The people who organized the Olympics, it's the same interest body that was in charge of the World's Fair back in the day. And they're the ones who gave us the Christopher Columbus narrative. And now, somehow, we have chosen the absolute perfect counterstrike to institute Native American Day on Columbus Day. There is very powerful acrimony in making this statement of, nope, this is no longer Christopher Columbus's territory. Y'all can move on. This is now Native American territory on October 14th. It's really powerful, really powerful. And we're changing our language. Some people don't even say Happy Christopher Columbus Day. A lot of people are saying Happy Native American Day. All of this is so profound to me. Tulsi is called the Queen of Hawaii, just as a nickname. It's not official. It's just some little cute nickname that they give to her. Moon card, Hawaii. Yahweh in reverse is Hawaii. There is something really potent going on around the energies. Hawaii is at the 18.5 parallel. That's the lunar standstill code. It's really potent. Okay. And there's an eclipse today, a lunar eclipse on a supermoon on 9/17. And this lunar eclipse is happening very close to the South Taurid meteor showers that will be flaring up for the next month. It's been going for a month. It's going to keep going. And the location where the moon is today in its partial lunar eclipse is right next to the South Taurid meteor showers. And I'm looking more closely in Stellarium at that particular quadrant of the sky, as it is the equinox. It's the equinox line over in between Pisces and Aries. And I'm realizing the South Taurid meteor showers are very correspondent to Cetus, the sea monster. They're very proximal to Cetus. I see this as Leviathan. This is Leviathan. Leviathan is the infernal name for envy. It's the number 4 personality type's shadow. The envy with the shadow of, individual with the shadow of envy. So there's something really potent about these South Taurid meteor showers flaring at their pinnacle during election, the day of election, November 5th, which the day of election actually moves a little. It's just this year it happens to be on Remember the 5th of November. So there's a lot of potency to all of this. V for Vendetta, you guys should maybe watch that with a more heavy sense of military grade irony. I don't think that was I don't think that was exactly incepted for our benefit. Yeah, because the Guy Fawkes event was a boon to the Jesuit cause. They sacrificed a few guys in this plot, and then they gained, because of the publicity from that stunt, the Jesuits gained international rights of passage to come and go as they please more, because they were scattering to the wind after that plot. So they killed a bunch of Jesuits, about 5 Jesuits, and as a result, the Jesuits get to come and go internationally in fascinating and new, innovative ways. So I just wanted to mention that the South Toward meteor showers, they are in the tale of Cetus, the sea monster, who I read as powerfully correspondent to Leviathan. Thomas Hobbes wrote the book Leviathan. The cover art of Leviathan is a big god man on the sky overlooking the city, and he's wearing chainmail. In the public, everybody's cover art is a depiction of the back of the heads. That's Kopf. That's the symbol on the moon card. It's the back of everybody's head because they're looking up at the sovereign god man in the sky, who is kind of a generic face. It turns out that's not any one particular person. It's just it's a generic king god that the artist is known to have circulated in his time. However, the king received the only copy of the book Leviathan. He received the only copy where actually it's a chainmail suit of people, but he gets to see the front of their face. And so when he opens the book, when he looks at the cover art, the faces are actually looking at him, and he has the only copy where they're looking upon the owner of the populace. Meanwhile, everybody out in the public, their cover art is showing the back of everybody's head, diminishing their standing to a profound degree, and even drawing them in like the Draconid figure. That is the artistic method of showing the back of somebody to draw you into their perspective. So there's a collectivist perspective in the public looking up at the sovereign, but the sovereign has a copy of the book that everybody's actually looking at him. He's garnishing all of the envy. He is the envy of their eyes. Very profound. Social contract popping off during election day. Also, Jean-Jacques Rousseau picked up the social contract and he wrote on it in his path in a way that is a bit of a twist off of what Thomas Hobbes was about. Finding out that Thomas Hobbes was a cohort with Descartes. This is really profound. I'm seeing these yin-yangs all through history. So yeah, Descartes and Hobbes kind of made similar claims to the idea that everybody's just a machine. Automatons. The automatons were proliferated between Hobbes and Descartes. They kind of jabbed at each other over who gets that claim. But then Rousseau writes a new social contract with his idealist spirit. And then Voltaire comes and checks him like, whoa, bro, you're a little too optimistic. You don't optimize yourself right over the cliff. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that the South Toward meteor shower popping off in Cetus has a vast degree to do with the Leviathan. The Leviathan is invoked in Job 41, Job chapter 41. I think it's at the beginning. Can you call down the heavens with the belt of Orion? Can you? I forget the quote, but then it talks about using the fish hook, the Tizedi, to hook Leviathan, to subdue Leviathan, and all of that is so profound because Tizedi is on the Emperor card. The Emperor was the person in the story of Perseus. The Emperor is the father of Andromeda. And he uses Perseus's desires, his Tizedis, he uses the fishhook to bait Perseus to vanquish the demon that was giving his community so much trouble. So yeah, very much this is Cepheus. I hope I got that right. Cetus is the monster. Cepheus is the emperor. So yeah, there's something really profound with all that, and I just find it amazing that at the day of the election, there's a conflagration going on Leviathan, who is the name of the book that the social contract is based on. So potent, so potent. Okay. Also, after sharing these graphics, I might make a community post and put the graphics in the community post with some sort of schizophrenic name or phrase, just so people can get a real clear image of these sequins, the sequins of events that are coming on in the heavens and the stars. And also a headline came across my radar that it's a little late to the party. It's strange how your news is catered to your interests. But I saw this headline that's almost a month old already. Promethium. They had a discovery around promethium back in August 25th. They were able to make promethium behave in a unique way for the first time ever. They bonded it with oxygen. All of this is really far out because on August 25th is the midst of Vulcanalia, and we're progressing into Vulturnalia. And so the X marks the spot on the Analema. It strikes again as the vulture is descending onto the hostage of the zodiac, which is Prometheus, also Andromeda. And if you study the Andromeda cluster, you'll find out that promethium is its primary luminescent qualia. Its albedo indicates that it is a prime source of promethium coming out of Andromeda. So when I talk about Prometheus is Andromeda, it's you're not going to find it in any book. These are intuited from the ethers of the slick dissident lens. It's very potent. But yeah, that discovery happened on August 25th, just as we're crossing the X, where the vulture attacks the hostage on the sky. So I wanted to share that little graphic, and I'm going to talk some smack on a few authors who are hailing one another through symbolic means. And I wouldn't make a stink over this, and I'm not, don't let these revelations affect your freedom of association. If you love these authors and what they've done, that's awesome. I can't say that any of these people are evil or nefarious. I just think that sometimes there are fascinating revelations conveyed through cover art, just like on Leviathan. There's so much information on that cover art. I learned so much just from studying that one picture of Leviathan. So, Bill Cooper, he was a Moulet Society cadet when he was young. Sure enough, his cover art is Behold a Pale Horse. It's a BAPH. That's a bath right there. Behold a pale horse. And in the horse's ass, there's a hidden hand. There's a hidden yod in the negative space of the horse on the cover of Behold a Pale Horse. A lot of people saw that as a powerful revelation, and a lot of people see Bill Cooper as a patriarch of conspiracy culture, and that is fine and dandy. I just want to keep some of what is hidden. I want to keep it in the fully disclosed category. So yeah, he was a Malay Society cadet, and his book is a Notoricon for BAPH. And there's a hidden hand up the ass of that horse. Funny enough, uh, Pegasus, no, Mobil Oil Company, their logo was a Pegasus horse, and its tail was strangely looked like a hand coming out of the ass of the Exxon Mobil logo. That the horse had a tail that was actually a hand. Um, yeah, really wild how many hidden hands there are throughout history. And Bill Cooper might not have had any clue. He might not have had any clue. This might be the publishing company messing around with the packaging. You know what I mean? Very often, the publishing company has the benefit of anonymity. Jason Rizzo Giorgiani. What up, Jason? Homie's got a fascinating name. He's got that Gorgon, right? He's got that Georgian. That's where Circe comes from. But he's got the orange on knee. He's got the orange on the knee. This one is really fascinating to me. I don't, sometimes, so often, I have no idea what I'm seeing, but the consistency of it needs to be brought to light. So he's got the orange on knee, and Alexander Dugan has the jellyfish. So Dugan's cover art is this Emperor card who has the orange on his knee. Giorgiani's cover art is the Empress card, and she is inside of one big jellyfish. Dugan's middle name is Jellyfish. Giorgiani's name is the orange on the knee. They are hailing each other on their cover art. Giorgiani's book looks like this. Dugan's book looks like that. Giorgiani's book has Dugan's middle name encoded in the background. Dugan's book has Giorgiani's name encoded on the foreground. So there's a yin and a yang going on here. And what's fascinating is Arctos Press did not decide what their name was. That was their decision to be Alexander Jellyvich Dugan. Lady Frida Harris, the artist who made this deck, her code name is Jesus Chutney. Jesus is the fish, chutney is the jelly. Her code name is a code name for jellyfish. So I just want to blow the lid off of some of these writers who have built up a great amount of culture around the paradigms that they concoct and serve up. And they're brilliant. They're all brilliant in their own rights. But on the artistic side, there is a great amount of consistency going on, indicating some secret society winks, nods, inside nudges, if you catch my drift. The inside baseball is replete. Also, I'm going to blow up on Pierre Sabak, y'all. Heads up, here we go. I'm going to talk about Pierre Sabak. Sobek on shoes. My last episode, I was talking about the Sobek on shoes and the subconscious. And the pe means feet. And these pe are up in the air. And there's a Sobek right there. Pierre Sabak. I'm looking at the Saint Pierre. When I look up Saint Pierre, I get this island just up in North America on the East Coast. I don't have it with me. The island of Saint Pierre and Molokai, some other weird name. But I look at their flag, and I kid you not, it blows my mind. I'm seeing elements of this card in the flag of that region, in their heraldry. It's got crisscrossed anchors. Even the handlebars of the anchors are correspondent to these the butterfly and this dragonfly here. And something about those anchors, the way that they're always pointing out, the tips of them, very correspondent to these feet. Yeah, the Pierre Sabak. I'm looking at him with a new light. And then I look at his other cover art from his other books. And I realize I'm very much seeing the universe card in one of his books. This one is the murder of reality. This one is the holographic universe, something or another. And then what was the and the last one was the art card. Oh, yeah, the art card was his middle book. So yeah, very fascinating how many times these hyper sigils are embedded into cover art and served up for us. And something about this one was an anagram in there, A-R-T, T-A-R, something about, yeah, some anagramming aspects. Even the little loop-de-loop on the gold seal of his book corresponds to the loops on here. It's very fascinating. It makes me want to look more deeply into the history of the island of Saint Pierre. But I'm not going to dig into that. I'm just going to put it on your radar that I think this Hellean invasion is it's really charging the shapes of the hyper sigils that can be passed into our secondary and third and fourth layers of presentational immediacy. And so while Pierre Sabak is telling you that it's all about ships, I'm telling you that it's all about shapes and geometry and how these hyper sigils are actually standards of family heraldry and family crests. And I think that is how a lot of the lushing process is going under people's appreciative radar. Now, I say this, and I feel like a great amount of self-consciousness as I'm also creating art and offering it into the world, but I'm informing it with all of the positive intentions, all of the directive of revelation. Yeah, so I think that it does. It really boggles my mind so often how, on one hand, I admire these artists for what they do in their career path, and hope to even maybe emulate them in certain ways. But on the other hand, I hope to exceed them and present something beyond what they've already established. And so, yeah, myself, it casts a shadow of doubt on my own work where I likewise am putting art into the world based on these muses, these systems, these orders, these truths, these fundamental bedrock truths. And I feel that as long as I am forthright with that intention, with no subtext, no fine print, no asterisks, yeah, that there's a transparency. That my entire style is that of transparency. But I'd imagine that's what Bill Cooper thought he was up to. You know what I mean? So someday if I go publish a book and they secretly, the publishing company puts a hidden hand sticking out of the ass of my Pegasus, that would be a real wrench in the gears. That would be a real wrench in the gears. So I looked into Pierre Sabak's publishing company, Serpentine Jenna, Serpentine Jenna. Seems to be an independent publisher. I was expecting maybe I would see Arctos Press engaged in Pierre Sabak's printing. I did not, but I do believe that these hyper sigils are the bedrock cornerstone of culture, and so they are tapping into some latent energies that I spend all day trying to tell you guys. Don't let this sleep. Don't sleep on this. Don't sleep on these things. All right. Also, I want to explain some of the things that I said in my last video about 111 is a very powerful number. You know, even like America is a mirror of K. K is the 11th, is equal to 11. And 11 is the fifth prime number. I've had a lot of fascinating revelation considering the 11 belongs in the number 5 spot. A lot of Joe Rogan's studio is popping off right there with the 11 in the 5 spot. As he was in the fear factor, he was in the 6 spot. The shadow of number 6 is fear, or PK and I have renovated this to doubt. But he went from fear factor, and now he's on the Drogan. His name is a overwrought derivative of the word dragon. And so I ponder, what does Joe Rogan in this MK Ultra sound booth, what role does he play in the upcoming events? This is the year of the Joe Rogan. This is the year of the Joe Rogan. And sure enough, it's going to be on October 8th is when the Draconid meteor showers pop off. Just as this Atlas Tesla comet dive bombs the sun at the same day. That is the day that the Joe Rogan starts to spit fire. It's really fascinating how far in advance some of these spells have been crafted. So yeah, one more. I'll just bring the Joe Rogan studio graphic forward. Very correspondent. I don't know who designed his studio, but it is absolutely this card right here, the Lust card. There's a lot that has been lost in translation, and people attaching to the egregore of that studio that is based on that one card that Crowley spent a lot of time renovating the nature of it. So the 111 of it all, I wanted to bring some fun math to kind of consummate my claims. So 37 is a super magical number. It's an incredibly magical number. G.I. Gurdjieff had 2 laws. He had the law of 3 and the law of 7. 37 is the 12th prime number. So a lot of the surface level decoding of a 12-segmented sky is all fine and dandy. It's just fine and dandy. But I just find it quite profound that the 12th prime is 37. And sure enough, if you switch the 37 and you make it into a 73, that's the 21st prime number. So there is functional success. There's functional success when you experiment with these correspondences. So 37 is the 12th prime, 73 is the 21st prime. It's just fun that they correspond when you flip them. So any of the 3, 6, 9 numbers that you multiply by 37, they yield repeating digits. So 3 times 37 gives you the 111. 6 times 37 gives you the 222. 9 times 37 gives you the 333. 12, which is a 3, times 37 gives you the 444. And it goes on like that as you progress through the mathematical correspondences. So also I wanted to convey, when 37, by the way, this 37 degree latitude is the Mason-Dixon line in my territories map. And depending on what state you're in or what time in history you look up the Mason-Dixon line, you'll pretty much get somewhere between 36 and 37 degree parallel. Also, all of the Afghani ganja seeds they brought over to the Fertile Crescent of the United States, they had to be sourced from Afghanistan, where the sun has the same exact light cycle for those seeds at 37 degree parallel. So Afghani ganja has traveled on the Mason-Dixon line. It also corresponds to the San Francisco Bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge is at the 37 degree marcation. It cuts through a great many highly significant spots. It goes through Fort Knox, which is very much ground zero with the Fool card, and Kentucky. Kentucky is Portuguese derivative of caindo aqui. Caindo aqui, it falls right here. And so the Fool card falls right there in Kentucky, where Fort Knox, where all the gold actually was disappeared when the French came calling on it. So it also, 37-degree parallel, cuts right across the Beaufort Gyre, and then it goes across through the Strait of Gibraltar, the Strait of the Hebrew Altar, and then it cuts right into Turkey, and it goes into a Temple of Hades in Turkey. So yeah, I always ponder how all those battles on the Civil War Mason-Dixon line, how they channel right into a Temple of Hades in Turkey. Turkey is a nexus point for all of the tunnels in the world. So, 1 squared is 1. 11 squared is 121. 111 squared is 12321. And so on and so forth. This shape, you'll notice that the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right down the middle, create something of a castle or a structure. It very much reminds me of the fortress, Superman's fortress in the Arctic regions. He went out there and created some sort of what would it be? Ubermenschen, the palace of the Ubermensch. Yeah, the palace of the Ubermensch, where Superman would go to recuperate and reconvene with his elders. So yeah, when I mentioned that the 111 is a very powerful magical sequence, I just wanted to relate some of the mathematical truths that I've kind of picked up along my way. And with that, I should call it. That was a pretty long installation. I was considering, could I walk everybody through? Is it possible? Is it doable? Is it worth it? Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to walk everybody through Stellarium. Second hand, we're going to ghetto this mamma jamma. So this is where we were on 915, the chump rumors, the shadows of doubt happened on 915. 15 is a devil card. 15th prime number is 47, the 47th presidency. 15th prime number is 47. 47 is the periodic symbol for silver, or the periodic number for silver. So for it to happen on the 15th is just more fuckery. Absolutely all part of the plan, but don't choke on your popcorn just yet. All right. So here's Venus on Spica. And here, as we progress onto today, 917, you can see the sun is just over her shoulder. This very much reminds me of some of the training I've done and remedy for hostage situations, that shot over the shoulder. Next couple days, we have Mercury catching up with the sun. You see, Venus is progressing. The moon, because we're in an eclipse today, the moon is 180 degrees away from us, completely at the other equinox line, but it catches up very quickly over the next week. You'll see, here comes the moon. The moon goes right across as it is about to line up with the sun on 10-2. And this is the day of the solar eclipse that will happen down in Argentina. That is the foot of the Fool card. Let me see. Also, I want to point out, this is happening at the foot of South America. South America looks like Buotes to me. So here's Buotes, here's Arcturus. This dragon could very much be correspondent to the Hydra, but not so fast, because look, there's the serpent's kaput right there. There's Draco is just off the screen right here. Let me see if I can tweak it a little. There's the head of Draco up there. Here is the serpent's kaput. I'm thinking Serpent's Kaput is more correspondence to the Drake's Passage. But look at this. Look how the lunar eclipse is literally right under Boötes. Just like on the map, where the lunar eclipse is going to scrape the bottom of South America. It's so fantastic. And then it takes a few days for this meteor to progress all the way into the sun. So 10-2, 10-3, 10-4, 10-5, 10-6, 10-7, 10-8, and 10-9 is when it passes over. And sure enough, those are the dates of the Navaratri. Those are the dates between Katyayani and Kaalratri. I'm inclined to say, ladies and gentlemen, that I think the chump ear-castrated event was a cosmodrama of this meteor skimming around the sun. I think that's what the whole ear-castrated event was. And now it's just garnering all this acrimony and all this energy and all this significance. But it's being played out over the next month. Sure enough, here, I guess I should point out that the Draconids flare up at that time. I guess you might have seen it, but you can see, let me try to ghettoify this mamma jamma. So, I don't know. Here we go. So yeah, you can see the Draconids are right here. And they flare up pretty much from 10-4, 10-5, 10-6, 10-7, 10-8, 10-9, 10-10, they die out. 1-1. They die out. And Atlas has crossed over. So I just wanted to take people on a little tour there of these events as everything is culminating on Spica, which is the placenta star of Virgo. The highest order of magics here. Just the highest order of magics. And I just want everybody to keep the things that you've read and the collective trauma of the culture creators and the fertile ground that has been prepared for people to only perceive what the mind has been conditioned to witness. Just want everybody to keep this in context. The word for witness in Greek is martyr. And we have quite a mania baked into our consciousness for the desire to be the witness, to be witnessed, and thereby to be martyred. So, I put these videos out, people come along, they'll be like, look at this fool talking about tarot cards and correspondences. Well, at least I'm being witnessed. At least I'm being witnessed. All right, just doing my part. Big love and respect, everybody. Strength.